think it's kind of exciting that you have a brand new asset class.
Founder and Chairman Perianne Boring. Great to see you, Perianne. Thanks so much for being here and weighing in here. What is your take on the Clarity Act and where this goes? Do you believe that if, in fact, the crypto platforms do ultimately have the right to pay rewards, people will take money out of their traditional bank accounts and put them in crypto platforms?
Well, I mean, we're not seeing that right now. You can get yield on digital asset deposits at all sorts of companies in the U.S. today. These are regulated businesses. So the reality doesn't match up with the talking points that are being used to slow down the bill. I really called this stage of digital asset adoption as the mask off phase. The banks have taken their mask off and their gloves off, and they've really come out very forward-facing against the bill, and they really are the last standout in terms of the group of organizations who have yet to adopt this technology, but it's coming. You can't hold back innovation. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. The technology is out there. It's going to strengthen the banking system. They're just being very slow and apprehensive.
That is the beautiful Perianne Boring. The digital asset guy has always thought she is very pretty and very smart. I've followed her for a while. You know, it's like, thank you that somebody says the talking points are not matching the reality. That's what I've been saying since November. You know, I remember back in November, I'm going to show a video where I said, I know they're not going to pass this thing in a bear market. They're going to pass it at least when we're going into the bull market, but they're going to string us along. I didn't know what they would string us along with. And then this yield issue came up, but it makes absolutely no sense. The banks are saying, we don't want crypto platforms to be able to offer higher yield than we're paying on savings accounts. Banks, we've already had high yields on stable coins for years. People are doing it now, and there has not been deposit flight out of your savings accounts. There will be, I believe, in the future, but this whole thing doesn't even add up. It's either blatant stupidity on the parts of the banks. They're like putting a huge spotlight on it, like telling everybody, hey, don't take your money out of our savings accounts where you're earning 0.02%, to go put it into RLUSD and make 2% or USDT or USDC and make 3, 4, whatever percent. Don't do that. It's ridiculous. It's like, it just doesn't add up. And so I agree with Perianne that the talking points are not adding up at this point, and it's almost getting kind of comical. The one thing that I disagree with Perianne on is she's kind of a Bitcoin maxi right here on her X profile. It starts out Bitcoin original gangsta. And then even in this clip, she said, you cannot, what did she say? Innovation cannot be held back.
This technology, but it's coming. You can't hold back innovation. You can't
hold back innovation. Well, Perianne, I challenge you, though, to look into XRP. XRP is a huge innovation since Bitcoin. It is a fact that it is better, faster, cheaper than Bitcoin. Yes, Bitcoin's the store of value, and they love to put little old XRP here with, they try to make it look like it's always going down. After we had like 100% face rip on XRP one day, they put it on the news showing 0.5% increase after the move. But anyway, Perianne, I really think that you need to be a little more fair with the other digital assets. It's my one thing, because you cannot stifle innovation, and that's exactly what XRP is. It's a superior technology in terms of utility. I'm a believer in Bitcoin as a store of value, but to say only Bitcoin, that just isn't so. All right, here is iTrust Capital, the digital asset guy's favorite place to buy, sell, hold cryptocurrencies and precious metals in an IRA. You can hold it in a Roth, traditional, or SEP. You can roll over your old accounts. That's what I did. Or you can hold it not in an IRA, but in a premium custody or a premium treasury. The treasury accounts if you have an LLC or a business. Premium custody is just a regular account, but you still get institutional grade custody for only a 1% trading fee. It's the best show in town. And they're an actual custodian where their job is to safely hold your crypto. Market's kind of boring. We're still here flirting with 77,000. Little pullback as we sold that news on the Clarity Act. The digital asset guy backed up the truck, in the words of Digital Asset Investor over the weekend. Yeah, I could have waited to get a little bit better pricing, but I don't see us staying down here forever. And these bear markets that I've been in, I've learned that when you start trying to penny pinch and say, oh, well, I'll buy it if it gets, if Cardano gets down below 20 cents, even though it's at 24 cents and it's been over $3 before. If you say, oh, Stellar Lumens, I'll try to buy it when it gets under 10 cents and it's been over $1 before. That's not smart, because in a year or so, you're not even going to remember this price. You're just going to be like, why didn't I buy some when it was down there? And this is a great time to remind everyone that nothing that I say or show or talk about in these videos is financial or investment advice, just my own personal thoughts, opinions, feelings, philosophies, like that, for entertainment and educational purposes only. So yeah, if you're waiting for H-bar to get below 5 cents like it was back when I bought it the first time, you're playing with fire. In the words of blockchain backer, you're playing with fire to bet on us going much lower, because it's just not usually how things work. Wow, VeChain's down at number 77. But again, I've told this story before, way back in like 2019, as C19 hit, VeChain went way down. Way back here, if it'll load, back here, 2019, we were way down here, where it was like 2-3 tenths of a penny. And I remember seeing a post on X that said, is VeChain still a thing? And I bought a little bit, but I should have bought more. And then like a year later, we face rip up to 30 cents almost. It's like 100x. These are the times. So if C19 didn't kill VeChain, I don't think this standard bear market's going to. Just my own personal thoughts and opinions. Here is more of Cynthia Loomis. I'm starting to feel bad for this woman. You can just, every day she's like on the news talking about the Clarity Act. And then after this, I'm going to show you back in November my thoughts on the Clarity Act. So here she is.
Senator Cynthia Lummis's Digital Asset Market Clarity Act has passed out of committee with bipartisan support, now headed for full vote on the Senate floor. And she joins us now to tell us more. Wyoming Senator Cynthia Lummis. First of all, before we even start the conversation, the audience needs to know, you've been at this for a long time. You've always found a way to have bipartisan help with this. 2020.
She has been at this for a long time. She just looks exhausted there.
22 with Senator Gillibrand, the Responsible Financial Innovation Act. Again in 2023, again in 2025. You pulled it over the finish line. What's next?
Well, next, we're going to take the bill that we passed in the Senate Banking Committee last week. We're going to combine it with the bill that's already passed the Ag Committee in the Senate, which deals with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission part of this subject. Then we're going to wrap in some language about ethics, as well as make some technical changes to the Genius Act. So then we're going to put it all together and present it on the Senate floor, hopefully sometime this summer.
So her saying they're going to add in some ethics parts, that worries me a little, because the buzz I've been hearing lately is that they want to, at the last minute, try to add language that says the President of the United States and politicians and people in Congress cannot own cryptocurrencies or make meme coins and things, which I think is absurd with all the insider trading that goes on with like Nancy Pelosi and Congress people. They're always talking about banning it. The day they ban it, that is probably the top of the stock market, because that's just a way for everyone to see it through a different lens, where all of a sudden they have to sell because they can't hold it, so they have to sell it. That's probably the way they're going to get away with selling, dumping their stocks on the market, crashing the market on all of us. So just what I think. Here is what the digital asset guy said last November. This is November 12th, 2025. This is what I said.
Really on the ascendancy, and then
This is Charles Hoskinson, and then I'm going to talk after.
it'll kind of taper off. And
See, he's saying if the Clarity Act would have been passed in October, now we've got people who know, like Eleanor Terrett, saying it's not even tentatively scheduled, to be talked about until December. I just see the Clarity Act. I mean, I would love it to be passed tonight, trust me, but I just have a feeling, I'm getting the vibe that it's going to be, kicked down the road a ways, and it'll be maybe like, summer of 2026 we get to it.
So what did Cynthia Loomis just say back here?
Then we're going to wrap in some language about ethics, as well as make some technical changes to the Genius Act. So then we're going to put it all together and present it on the Senate floor, hopefully sometime this summer.
Summer. I just looked at the market cycle that we're in, and I just said if we do things the same, we'll probably have a big old rounded bottom bear market like this when we actually come out the other side of this. And I could just see it being like over here, summer, we start coming actually out of this bear market and going back up, and we have a rounded bottom. And that was just my prediction, and I talked to some people who are in the know up top, and that's what they were saying, and that looks like what we're seeing now. So here is something else that we really want to watch. This woman, this evil woman, she is not stupid. She is not clueless on crypto. She knows exactly the benefits of crypto and the blockchain, but she is trying to stop it for reasons. Senator Warren questions OCC chief on approval of ineligible crypto trust charters. The Massachusetts lawmaker asked the U.S. comptroller of the currency to provide all communications between the agency and Donald Trump potentially related to the charter approvals. There she is. So she sent this letter, and I am regarding your decision in the recent months to grant national trust charters to simply ineligible companies in apparent violation of the National Bank Act. All right, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but so she names, I heard that she named Ripple first in it, and then Coinbase, Stripe, BitGo, all these other ones. These companies are effectively crypto banks that want to evade the fundamental safeguards and obligations that come with being a bank. That's not true. We have fractional reserve banking where the banks, they can lend out your money and they don't have to have your money, they don't have to have one-to-one reserves. They have a fraction of the money held in reserves. A lot of these crypto banks, they're required to hold one-to-one for the stable coins and things. So that's, I think the TradFi, are the bigger offenders. And the thing that's so scary is she knows she is not stupid, and she's trying to use, the smoke and mirrors, right now in crypto and the negligence of the general public on learning about crypto and just the lack of awareness. She's trying to use that right now in this critical time to just basically lie to people and present false information and get them to believe her because they don't really know anything about crypto is really what's going on here. You know, I just posted on X. I said, do you know people who actually believe crypto is illegal? I do. I was in the grocery store and somebody who I've known for years, I know they follow me on social media and they see everything I post every day about crypto. And, you know, if they wanted to, they could move their thumbs on their iPhone and click on some of the things that I share and educate themselves. And they obviously do not. I mean, it is just ridiculous. I'm in the grocery store and I run into her, haven't seen her in a while. Oh, how are you, honey? Oh, I'm good. What have you been up to? Well, I'm kind of into my cryptocurrency investing and education. She says, oh, I would be very careful with that. I said, why? She says, well, I mean, number one, it's not legal. It's like fake money. I said, no, it is legal. And she says, well, it's very controversial. But you know, my friend is literally a bank manager, and she told me it's not legal. Maybe it will become legal, but she told me it's not, and I could not deal with it. I said, well, I've got to run for now, but if you ever want to talk about it, I'd be happy to sit down and show you a few things. It's kind of what I do, but the level of ignorance is just baffling. And I kind of think maybe it's not ignorance. Maybe they know, they just don't want to accept that things are changing and they might have to do something different. They don't have it all figured out, but it's just baffling to me. And so that's why with this new content that I'm doing with my crypto dating and just street interviews, they're not all dating related, but those are my favorite ones. But when I just walk up and ask the general public about crypto and they don't have a clue, but then they want to judge it and tell me, you know, oh, well, I don't know anything about it, but I would never date a guy who's in it, or I'm pretty sure it's illegal. It just is. It's just so odd to me. Like, you wouldn't walk up to, I mean, I guess they don't really know who I am, but if I'm out there with a microphone asking about crypto, they should, think maybe I know something about crypto. I mean, you don't walk up to a doctor and say, oh, your profession's really risky, I would avoid it. It's just so funny to me. But I really enjoy doing this content, but really I want to educate. I want to entertain, obviously. I want to engage people, and I want to educate about crypto. Maybe some of these people who participated in these street interviews, maybe they went home and moved their thumbs a little bit on their iPhone and maybe Googled crypto. Maybe some of the ones I talked about, XRP, they looked up XRP, and who knows, maybe they saw some of the advertisements in Vegas and they're like, wow, why are there all these advertisements? Maybe this is a thing. Maybe they stumble onto Ripple. Okay, so this is a company that uses this thing. It's not hard to figure it out with the internet these days. But I don't know. Apparently it is. Let's see. I just got a notification. What is going on here? Shibtastic just commented on this. Oh, he put a laughing face. I'm telling you, I know people who actually believe crypto is illegal, and it's just funny. We'll see how many people comment. Okay, got to get you all out of here. Thank you so much for watching. Nothing I say is financial or investment advice, just my own personal thoughts, opinions, feelings, philosophies. Please hit the like button. Please make sure that you're subscribed. Please share this video with anyone who you think would value it. And please refer it to whoever, it's word of mouth, direct referrals that help me the most. You'll be helping me get a little closer to doing my dream job of talking crypto every day. Thank you so much, Digital Asset Guy.